Hey, I wanted to cut into the 7-part series that we're currently doing on how to start up and discuss something that I think is very important and a very worthwhile topic today, especially. So, this is something that I think is the most crucial aspect, the foundational aspect for anyone to reach any kind of success, whether that's personally or professionally. Really, it's the one thing. It's the one thing that leads to success for anyone, and that one thing is mindset. So, I want to discuss a few aspects of this, but I want to start off by asking you a question. So, think about this. What if today, everything you did, every action you took, every step you took, you knew that it will be 100% successful? However, you define success for it, no right or wrong answer there. But what if everything you did today was 100% successful? You didn't have to worry about it not being successful. Would that change your perspective on how you approach things? How would that shape the actions that you take? How would it change how you act or react? Think about it for a minute. You may be facing a situation right now that might be challenging. And quite frankly, you might be thinking, no matter what action I take, it's just not going to be a good outcome for me. What if, though, the actions that you did take created the outcome that you desired, created the success? It would change your perspective, right? It'd give you different feelings. It would change your whole approach, I would say. Or I know. So, simply put, that's mindset. That's what mindset is. So today, what I want to talk about is, as we think about mindset and what affects mindset, I want to talk about the number one obstacle to mindset, or to a growth or success period, a growth or success mindset. I'll also share you an exercise that I personally do every day to shift my mindset towards more of a growth and success focused mindset. And then I want to share some information about how I'm working to help people gain and maintain a growth and success mindset. And so let's dive into this. Through my experience as an athlete in college, all the way through college, through my journey as a startup entrepreneur, as a father, as a husband, recently moving my whole family halfway across the country, one thing that I have learned and I've seen, and that has become evident in my life, when I look back and think about the successes and the dreams that I had that I made a reality, it all starts with mindset. Mindset is everything. It's the most important key to success for anything. No matter what you do, if you have the right mindset, it creates opportunities for success. However, if you do not have a healthy mindset, if you do not have the right mindset going into any situation, you're going to fail, period. There's a quote that I don't know where it comes from, but it says, whether you think you can or you can't, it's the truth. I think it goes something like that, but you get the gist. Whether you believe or that you can or can't do something, that's what's going to happen. It's up to you. It's up to you to have the mindset to change how you approach and how you take actions on a daily basis. And so I don't say this to scare you, but I wanted to wake you up. And actually, I wanted to encourage you to really be cognizant of how you think about things and how you focus and where you focus your attention. So with that, I want to talk about one aspect of mindset of success that holds people back the most. That aspect is fear. So fear is the number one thing that holds people back from taking the action they need to create the success that they want in their life. So I want to talk about some truths about fear. Number one truth about fear is a liar. we naturally jump into worst case scenarios. We naturally will catastrophize everything that we think about naturally. It's just a natural thing that our brain does, because our brain is made in a way to keep us safe. Our brain's job is to keep us safe and keep us out of harm's way. And so if something feels unknown, if something feels uncomfortable, or a little bit scary, the natural inclination is going to be fear. It's going to be, no, don't do that. That's not good for you. You can't do that. You don't need to go that way. That's too uncomfortable. We need to stay comfortable. We need to stay safe. That's your brain's natural tendency. It's just how you're made, and it's no fault to anybody. The thing about it, though, is although our brains naturally do that, we are not made to fear. We're not. In fact, we are not made to have a position of fear. Rather, we are made to have a position of power, of love, and of self-control. And that's what should guide our actions. And so with that, that brings to mind some aspects of that. There has to be intentionality in how we take captive every thought and how we transform our minds and in turn transform our lives. So as we think about what fear is, number one is, again, we jump to the worst case scenario. Number two is, we're not made to do that, though. We're made to have power, love, and self-control. The third aspect of that is, all in all, fear is imagined. It's not real. It only exists in our mind. It is literally a made-up story in our head as we're thinking about situations or challenges. It's literally a made-up story in our head. With that, we have control what we think about. We are not like any other animal in this world. We have the ability to think logically, and we have the ability to reason and not work just on habit alone. And because of that, the truth that reveals is fear is a choice. You have a choice to be fearful or not. You actually can choose a different focus. And so as you think about that, if we have a choice on what we give our attention to, another truth for every fear is that there is a counterpart to fear. For every negative, well, what if this happens? There's a positive, what if this happens? It is the direct opposite of what you're fearing. So considering that we have a choice about what we can think about, we have the ability to choose on what we can focus on when it comes to trying to overcome fear. In fact, we have the ability to, instead of focus on fear, and having fear-based mindsets, we can actually focus on a best-case scenario. Rather, we can focus on the other what if. We can focus on the direct opposite of, well, what if I lose all my money when I start this business, to, well, what if I'm successful and I build something that is bigger than me and creates a legacy for my family, for my children, for their children, even beyond that. What if that happens? What if the best case scenario happens? We have the choice on what we want to focus on. It's up to us. And so with that, what we choose to focus on is very important, because here's the thing. Whether we're focused on fear or we're focused on best case scenarios, both are true. Both are just as true as the other. However, where they are different are the implications from focusing on one or the other. If we choose to focus on fear, that's going to cause timidness. It's going to cause us hesitation. It's going to cause us analysis paralysis. It's going to lead to typically no action being taken at all. Whereas if we choose to focus on the other what if, the best case scenario, we decide that that's what we are going to focus on. That leads to action. That leads to healthy habits. It leads to a different type of approach and a different type of perspective to how we approach any situation, good or bad. And so with that shift, it completely transforms our mindsets, and in turn, it transforms our results, right? So what if instead of worrying about everything that could go wrong, we started imagining everything that could go right? What if we decided to take a position of power, love, and self-control as opposed to feeling timid or out of control? When you focus on the best case scenario, very powerful things happen because our mind is very powerful. We start to visualize success. We start to begin to feel like what it's like to win. And most importantly, this then aligns our actions with our belief. And we start taking the right actions, and we start acting and reacting to situations in a growth and success way with that kind of mindset. That's how people manifest their biggest dreams. That's how goals become reality, and that's how you set yourself up for success. And so the thing to think about is this easy to do when you're in the heat, when you're facing something very important? Is it easy to do to shift your focus? No, it's not. But as with anything in life, with practice and intentional application, you can retrain your brain. You can retrain your brain on what you focus on by consistently and intentionally thinking about where you put your focus about any situation. You can literally change the makeup of your brain. Over time, you will create new neural pathways that shape your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where your habits live. So in essence, if you are intentional and you practice and you really work to change your approach to how you, with any situation, and how you shift from fear to growth and success mindsets, it will change your mind. It'll change how your brain functions, and in turn change your habits. It'll lead to healthy habits, habits that create success rather than failure. So I want to give you a simple practice that I personally do every day, especially every time I feel like fear is creeping in. And so I want you to try it with me right now. So step number one, this is a simple exercise. It's quick, but it's very effective. Step number one is close your eyes. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. As you exhale, make sure your exhales are twice as long as your inhales. Just try to release any kind of tension, and just try to separate yourself from any distractions around you, and just center on where you're at right now. Now, I want you to think about a situation or a challenge you may be facing, something you may be going through that might be causing fear. It might be causing hesitation or timidness or worry or anxiety. I want you to think about this situation, and I want you to think about those fears and where they're coming from. And I want you to begin to realize that they are made up, that they are a lie, and that right now it's just your imagination. Now, I want you to think about the flip to that, the other what if. There's the what if I fail, but there's also the what if I succeed. Think about that. Think about the best case scenario. What does that look like? Visualize it in your head, whatever situation it is. Say that you want to start a company, you want to start a business, or you have a big idea that you want to take action on, but you're fearing failure, or you're fearing financial loss, or you're fearing that you don't have time, or that you're not good enough, or that you're not worthy. And it's holding you back. And every birthday that comes by, you have regrets because you haven't taken any action, because that fear keeps holding you back. I want you to shift your mind and think about, what's the opposite of that? What's the direct opposite of those thoughts that are holding you back? What does success look like? Think about taking that action. Think about taking that step. What does it look like? Visualize it in your head. Visualize starting that business, bringing that big idea to life. Visualize creating success in all aspects of your life, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. What does it look like? Really try to think about, in as much detail as possible, what does that look like? Think about the legacy that you leave, the inheritance you leave for your family. Not just financially, but in all other aspects. Now, as you begin to visualize that part, as you separate from the fear that's been holding you back and lean into that more, how does that make you feel? Again, stay focused, stay centered on this. How does it make you feel? What kind of feelings do you have? Are they feelings of power, confidence, courage? Feelings that no matter what you do, you're going to succeed. Failure is not an option. Feelings that give you the ability to persist, to face into challenges that are always inevitable. But they're feelings that give you the energy to face into it. What are those feelings? Really think about those feelings and try to hold on to them. Now, as you think about that, what if those feelings translated into who you really are? What if you actually are confident? What if you actually are courageous? What if you actually are persistent? What if you are worthy? What if you do have what it takes to face into the challenges that might arise by pursuing what you're working for? Now, I want you to think about, what actions would that person take? What would the confident Scott do today to take action? What would the courageous Scott, the persistent, the worthy Scott do today? How does that change the way that I would act and react to situations that I'm facing today? I went through this exercise and it led to me doing this video. This is a quick exercise that you can do to, again, change the way that you view, change your perspective. Now, as you begin to focus in on that perspective, what you're doing is you are creating a growth and success mindset, and it's shifting the way that you think. That in turn is going to shift the way that you act and that you react. Now, a thing to follow up to this is also, you need to continuously think about, what are the thoughts that are no longer useful to you and that need to go? What are the thoughts that do not provide you any utility and that you need to immediately kick out of your head once they enter? With practice, with intentionality and repetition, just by doing this simple practice, it will shift you from a fear-based mindset to a growth and success mindset. And when you do that, you start making decisions from a place of strength, of belief, and of confidence. So, if this message spoke to you, if it helped you in any way, I want to invite you to go deeper. In March, I'm launching a mindset coaching group. So this is a small, high-impact cohort group, no more than 15 people, where we'll focus on how to work together on shifting and transforming our minds, establishing confidence, taking real actions towards our goals. So if you're interested in learning more about this, or being a part of the cohort that we're launching in March, leave a comment below that just says I'm interested. Or you can send me a DM, or you can text me, email. I'll personally follow up with you with more details about this and about this opportunity. So, but with that, I want to leave you with this. Success isn't about luck. It's about mindset, and you have the power to shape yours.